was lost. In Austin, I saw it pause. My eyes crawled to a table. Paralyzed by pairwise dice, then attend to this heaven slice of an angel wrapped in skin. Throw dice and woes of life. Love deprived, look at her vibe. What's the meaning of life? One subjective paradise. Crystal chandeliers, motives reflected. Often mirrors appear clear, grinning from ear to ear. Craving and raving and grain, rekindle the flame. Closer she draws near. Stay there, remove your underwear, shove it somewhere over there. In paradise, we know our purpose. Dreams in paradise. Truth is what you conceive.
Boom. The truth is what you can see. And that's what we do on the Unpopular Hour. I'm your host, Matt Clark. Thank you for joining in to this live stream. We're going to cover quite a bit today. We're going to talk about soccer, of course. We're going to talk about the World Cup. We're going to talk about the Thunder last night, which is what we're going to start off with here in just a second. Do some hockey. Of course, we got our boy Drew Henthorn of HuskerDrewPicks.com. We've got his picks on the line as well. And in fact, Drew even did a World Cup pick. How about that? So anyway, we're going to talk a little bit about that, and then of course, Ben Dillman's going to be on to talk about some hockey and a little soccer. And then tomorrow, my guy, Nick Jackson, is going to be on so we can do a full recap of what's happened thus far on the World Cup. We're going to give some scores about today, but what's happened thus far, because there will be some significant games played through the day, and then tomorrow. And then, of course, the USA play England on Friday afternoon. So, but let's start off with a little bit with the Thunder. It was very hard last night watching the game, and man, the Thunder is just, it's just frustrating for me because watching his rotation of who he brings in as far as players, it drives me nuts. I don't understand it. I don't like it. I'm just going, why are you starting guys who are two-way players? Just start off a quarter when you have to get off to good starts on every quarter. You're going to start guys who are two-way players. They're not everyday players in the league, and you start them in a quarter. You're trying to tell me, what is that? Bringing them off the bench, that's fine. Giving them some playing time, that's fine. I have zero problem with that. But to start off quarters, and then to your whole first starting that you've been doing, SGA, Josh, Dort, Wiggins, Poku, and then Robinson Earl. That's great. But you're going to start Kendrick Williams instead of Wiggins. I'm like, you go on a win streak and you're winning, and you have the formula that's working. And then you change that formula. Why? Why are you changing that formula? Why are you why are you doing that? That makes no sense to me whatsoever. Why would you start Kendrick Williams? You started Kendrick Williams. You started Andrew Wiggins, and you're going to start. I don't understand that. Why would you do that? Why are you changing the lineup that is working? Now, Poku being hurt, I get that. Robinson Earl, fine. I don't have any problem with Robinson Earl. But Kendrick Williams is not strong enough to guard Julius Randle. And Randle just went at him every time he saw him. Every time he came in the game, whoop, give me the ball. Let me take this dude. He's too little. I don't understand that philosophy. I don't understand that level of thinking. I really don't. But anyway, the final box score, and of course you guys who follow me, follow my show After the Storm, you know that I love to do this halftime versus full game box score, because I think what it does is it allows you as a fan, me as well, to give the Thunder kind of a give us a be able to look at the Thunder and see what they're doing well, what they're doing, but what they're not doing well from half to half. Were there any adjustments made by the coaching staff that allowed us to be prosperous or not? Were there any things done? What did we do substitution wise, or what happened as far as overall scoring, or any of those things? Those are the things. The reason why I do this, so you can kind of see what happened. Of course, they outscored us in the second quarter, which was killed us. It absolutely killed us. We got outscored 31 to 24. We only scored 24 points, but we gave up 38 the first quarter. And part of the thing for me was making sure that we got out, do not give teams open looks, and that we get off to good starts. Those are my keys. You've got to be able to do those things for the Oklahoma City Thunder, and I'm not going to change those things because those are our keys. Get off to a good start every quarter. Do not give open looks. We've cut down on the turnovers part, but do not give the open looks, because if you give teams open look and they score a bunch of points, they get into a flow. Us under the hand, stop shooting threes, which we've pretty much done. So 68 to 59, they end up beating us 129 and 119. And then in the third quarter, which we are the number one team, were the number one leading the NBA in third quarter points scored and differential at 31 and 4.1. And we scored 29-29. So the quarter that we need to really do what we really needed to do didn't happen. SGA had another bad shooting game for him, if you want to count it. He was 6 for 18 and then 9 for 22. So if you want to say those are bad shooting games, middle 40s, should be, for most people, are good. But we're used to SGA 10 for 19, 12 for 21, 14 for 22. Those are the numbers that we're used to from SGA. But anyway, when you look at the stats, the Knicks were 5 for 16 the second half, which was good for us. Great defense. We were 4 for 13 the second half, which killed us. Just not being able to shoot. We can't shoot threes. And I just don't know why we end up shooting a bunch. But if the grand scheme of things, I only won that shooting 24 to 28 threes a game. I think that's 30 is the max. Now, if we're in a flow like we were a couple games ago, then yeah, shoot 35 times, because you're going, 16 for 35, 17 for 35, 17 for 37, stuff like that. Yeah, shoot the hell out the ball. If you've got a good stroke going, which you will have some games, yes, by all means do that. But on average, you should not shoot more than 24 times a game, period. 24, really 28 is maximum that I ever want the Thunder shooting threes. You can see field goal percentage went down from 55 to 52. Our shooting went down from actually stayed the same at 48%. Then when you look at pips, that's what killed us. Points in the paint. That is always my telling stat. We very rarely get outscored in the paint, largely because of SGA and the way that he moves to the basket. So it gets down low. So a lot of it has to do with him. Reason why we're normally high in the pips, or the points in the paint. Turnovers, we're averaging 13 for them, 14 for us. You can see that we had 5 the second half. They did have 7, so we turned them over a little bit more. They outscored us simply because they're more talented than we are. They're bigger, faster. When we were watching the game last night, this guy commented and says, man, they're just so much more big and more physical than we are. Yes, they are. That is not what the Thunder are looking for as far as the type of players that we are adding to our team. We have a certain type of player that we go after, and tall, athletic is not one of the things that we go by. And then also Julius Randle and Jalen Brunson just killed us, and R.J. Barrett did too. All of them had 20 plus points. Well, R.J. and Randle did, and then of course I think Brunson had 33, 35, whatever it was. We didn't have an answer for him. We just did not have an answer for him. And now I can see why the Mavericks are doing what they're doing. They're just hurting right now. And you can see the reason why is they don't have that guy, Brunson, coming off the bench, giving them 20, 18, 20 points a game. They don't have that. And neither do we. And we've got to find somebody that's going to do that. Now, possibly that could be J-Dub coming off the bench, because He had, 13 last night. So slowly but surely, he's developing into the masked man, whatever you want to call him, masked bandit, whatever you want to call him. He's developing into that guy who can come off the bench and average and give you 12 to 15. I think by the time at the end of the year and by the time next year, he's a 14, 15 point per game average guy, which will really help us coming off the bench. And that being said, I love what our team is. Even though our record, we're 7-10, I still believe in our team. We are a couple of players away. Now, is Chet going to make a difference? Small. He's 14, 15 points a game. We've seen this before. And if you're a basketball fan, and if you're a basketball person who understands the game, you know that guy's not the game changer. He's not this unicorn. We heard Porzingis, then Poku, now him. You're skinny. You're only going to do so much. You're tall. That ball handling stuff doesn't help you in the NBA because there's 6'9", 6'8", 6'9" guys with long arms. You start doing a bunch of dribbling, they are going to pick your pocket. They're going to pick your pocket because you're dribbling too high. They're going to get to you. Now, there are going to be moments that you do it. You look at Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant, 1-2 dribbles, boom, I'm pulling. I'm trying to get you going, get you leaning, then I'm going to pull up. Get you going this way, I'm going to pull up. That's what Kevin Durant does. And Victor Wembanyama, whatever his name is, that's what he does. I need to learn how to say his name. But anyway, that's what he does. He pulls up and shoots because he understands. If I'm trying to put the ball on the ground and trying to take you off the dribble from the three-point line in traffic in the half-court set, that's not happening. And for you all to think and listen to all these idiot people talk about, what a unicorn Chet is, you're an idiot. He's a 7-foot guy who's an average shooter, who's thin. Now, can he block shots in the paint? Yes, we see Poku do that. But he's not going to change your life. And once again, for the final point, Jalen Suggs, who plays for Orlando, played with Chet. They had the number 1 overall pick. And if I play with a guy and he's supposed to be the number 1 overall pick, they're going to come to me and ask me, what do I think? Is he a game changer for us? Is he going to make us better? And clearly Suggs said no because they took Paolo, which I would have done, which anybody should have wanted. I mean, you look at this guy. Now, Jabari would have been a little bit better for us, I think, but Sam Presti and the Oklahoma City people wanted Chet for whatever reason because they listened to all the hype or whatever. That's fine. He's not going to get it done. He's 14 points a game. He can't really shoot. He's got to improve his jumper. So, anyway, people can say what they want to, but he is not the guy for us. He's not going to take us over the next pump. Because even with him, we still only going to be averaging 26 wins. With him, that's what we're projected. With the number 2 overall pick, that was only giving us 3 wins because without him, we're at 23. So, is he going to do more? Is he going to add 4 or 5 victories a year? Yes. Is he going to add 15 victories? No, he's not. And boy, I hope I'm wrong, even though I know I'm not. Because I've seen enough basketball and I've seen that before. Tall, thin, seen that before. Doesn't work in this league. Doesn't work in this league. And everybody talks about Giannis. If you think that you can look at Chet and you looked at Giannis and think Chet is going to be able to gain 35 or 40 pounds and be athletic like Giannis, you're out of your mind. He doesn't have the same skill set, nor does he have the same muscle, nor does he have the same structure as him. And you look at Poku. Poku put 20 pounds of weight on his legs. Looks good, but he's still thin. He still has issues in the half-court offense unless he's attacking the basket or catching mid-range. And you're going to have to put Chet in position for him to be able to score. You're going to have to move him around. They run zone, whatever. Let him knock down that mid-range jump shot. He's not that very good at shooting threes. So you got to get him shots. And that's going to be when Josh get him in the game. Josh is going to do the pick and roll. He's going to drive. Josh is going to throw him alley-oop. Josh is going to get him scores. That's for sure. We know that. When you watched Summer League, you saw that. You saw, depending on who was in the game, depending on what Chet did, depending on who we played, depending on what Chet did. You can't hide it. It is what it is. Whereas Banchero played one game and they were like, we've seen enough. He's a monster. He's a beast. In NBA scores, let's go to some NBA scores so we can see what happened around the league last night. The Hawks and the Cavs played, and we knew that was going to be a good game, even though I thought that game was going to be an over. Surprised it was only 114, 102, but the Cavs, of course, at home, taking care of business, separating themselves a little bit from the Hawks. The Magic and the Pacers, that's like we said, it's not a game that nobody wanted to see, but the Pacers, surprisingly, are 10-6. I did not see them coming. I thought they'd be around 9-9, or 8-8, somewhere around there. 9-7, 10-6 is close to that. But I just didn't think the Pacers would be where they are at this point. Knicks and Thunder. The Knicks we just could not match up with them. SGA did not get the shots or did not score like we normally would expect him to. To be able to get free and do the things that we are used to watching him do. Golden State did not play Steph, Draymond, or Clay. Clearly, you can see what happened right there, 128-83. I mean, oh my gosh, what is that? 31 points, 41 points. Is that right? 41 points? Yeah, 41 points. Wow. That's just a beatdown. Just goes to show you what Golden State is or is not with the young guys or old guys. But I think there's just some friction there in the locker room, and they're the defending champions, so it's hard for those young guys to bounce back and understand mentally what it takes to stay in. Blazers, Bucks. This game ended up being exactly kind of what I thought. Just the Bucks were just too much at home for the Blazers. The Blazers are a young team. They still have a ton of talent. Got some shooters all over the place at 10-7. But the Bucks, of course, keeping pace with the Celtics. The Celtics falling to 13-4. Still the best with the best record in the league. Beating the Bulls. Losing to the Bulls 121-107 in Chicago. And the Bulls, I think, as my guy Drew Henthorne of Husker Drew Pick said, we talked about the Bulls are a better team than their record. They're better than a 7-and team. There's something else 7-10. There's something else going on there inside because their roster and what they'll be able to do, I think, is better than that. But of course, this is only 17 games into a 62 or an 82 game schedule, so I expect that to turn around and change. The Heat down to the T-Wolves 105-101. I love what the T-Wolves are right now. They just, man, they're physical. They've got bigs inside. They dominate the paint. When the big cat is knocking down threes and Anthony Edwards, Ant-Man is doing his thing, they're a tough team to beat. And, of course, the Heat are still trying to figure out who the hell they are because I don't think they know. Jazz and Clippers. Jazz, oh, man, I tell you what, the Jazz, they're an enigma, but they're 12-7. You don't know who's really on their team other than Porzingis is the only guy that I know. It's on their team. Other than that, who are the Jazz? Or excuse me, and they have what's his name? Lauren Marquette, whatever he played at Arizona with my guy Alonzo Trier. That's who they have. Anyway, he plays for them, not Porzingis. Porzingis plays for the Wizards. But anyway, Clippers took care of business in L.A. at the Crypt. And I wonder how long that's going to be there because Miami had to rename their stadium or their place since the guy that owned the Crypt, that name has filed bankruptcy. Crazy. Everybody talk about cryptocurrency. OBJ wishes he had his back. He took his payment in crypto, lost it all. So what happens? You start going with trends. You put a little bit of money there. You don't put millions of dollars in something. And then you sit there. You go ahead. If you put it in, you get it. As soon as you make some money, get it out. Unless you can afford to lose it. So we'll see, by the way, who OBJ decides to to play with? Is it going to be the Cowboys? No state income tax really makes it nice. To me, that would be hard to turn down, but that's just me. I'd have to think twice about that. Man, I'm like, I don't know. Uh, I might have to continue to play and put my money somewhere else, or get paid their no state income tax. NBA games today: the Nets and the Sixers. The Nets 8-9, Sixers 8-8. The Sixers, James Harden's hurt. The big fella's hurt. They just can't seem to be healthy, but they are 8-8. I think Maxi's out as well, so they're going to be in a lot of trouble. The Kings and the Grizz tonight. The Kings are still on their winning streak. We'll see playing on the road at Memphis what's going to happen there and whether Ja's going to be able to get back to 100% and be in that game. If he's not playing, they notoriously are very good, but without him and not Bain, but yeah, without him or Desmond Bain, I don't know if they can beat anybody without both of those. Pistons, Nuggets, man, it's going to be a good game between those two. Uh, I'm BSing. I don't think it's going to be a good thing. The Nuggets are going to take care of business at home against the Pistons. The Pistons are 3-15. They're just young. I mean, quite frankly, they are just absolutely young age. I just don't see a lot coming with them. Then, of course, the Lakers against the Suns tonight. Lakers on a 3-game winning streak. Anthony Davis averaging, 37 and 18 or whatever during this winning streak. The question is, there's no answer for him. When he gets down in the block, there's apps he can just do whatever he wants. And if he can stay healthy and the Lakers keep him in the box, instead of him jumping out shooting all those threes, they're a different team. But they do play the Suns in Phoenix, so we shall see what's going to happen with that tonight. And then I don't know if you saw the NFL game last night, NFL Monday night. I don't know if y'all saw that. I don't know why. I mean, that's what the game. The Niners and the Cardinals. The Cardinals were plus 9.5. Of course, the game was played in Mexico, and Niners 38-10. So if you took the Niners and the plus 9.5, you're all about it. And the game wasn't even close. They just spanked the Cardinals. Jimmy Garoppolo, great game, 20 for 29, 228 yards, 4 TDs. But yards after catch, the yak was just ridiculous for them last night. Absolutely ridiculous for them and what they did yards after the catch. His stats, he was turning more 5-yard passes into 40-yard gains than just about anybody. Reminded me of the Heisman Trophy winner from OU. Same thing what he did. Throw passes for 10 yards, and you have 4 guys who started in the NFL as wide receivers, and you win the Heisman. Colt McCoy, 20 for 30, 24 for 34, 218 yards, 1 pick. And then McSorley, 6 for 10, 59 yards, and 1 pick himself. When you look at total yards, 387 for the Niners, 314 for the Cardinals. They sorely missed Kyler, no doubt. I'm sure he was there because who would want to miss a trip to Mexico? 21 first downs for the Niners, 19 for the Cardinals, 228 passing yards for the Niners total, 247 for the Cardinals, 159 yards rushing for the Niners, 67 yards for the Cardinals, 29 minutes of possession for the Niners, 30 minutes for the Cardinals, but the telling time was the 2 turnovers. One of them didn't matter because it was late, and pretty much the game was over at that particular point. So I don't know, Rich, how much you really want to count that in. I'd say not at all. I think that was garbage, but that's just me. Welcome, my guy, Ben Dillman. What's up, bro?
Oh, not much, man. How we doing?
Doing good, man. Just rolling right along today. Not yesterday. Yesterday I was my allergies were crazy. They're great today because once the weather maintains whatever degrees it is, I'm
Yes.
fantastic. But going up and back and forth, I just can't stand it and I just hate it. So what's happening with you?
Oh, not much, man. Just I got a little bit of soccer on in the background. France actually just scored about
Again?
20 seconds ago. They're up 3-1
Three
now.
one now. Yeah, them being down 1-0, I was a little worried about that. We were going to do the scores, but with them missing two of their guys. Of course, Lucas Hernandez went down today, and then with
Yep.
Kareem and Benzema, who was rated as the number one soccer player in the world, went down, is going to miss the whole World Cup. So that's going to be, and that, to me, that's part of the issue with them having it now versus in the summer when it always is.
I
The
agree.
Premier League is over with. These guys get a chance to rest their bodies, but now you go from Premier League to team practice to the World Cup.
Yeah.
I
And
just
they couldn't have endured that heat during the
There's some,
summer
no,
there.
no, no. There's no way. There's no way. They're dying now,
Yeah.
and it's winter. I mean, it was ridiculous with the USA game yesterday. How tired those guys looked. You know what I'm saying?
Oh
I mean,
yeah,
they
everybody's
looked.
cramping.
Oh man, it was bad. It was awful. So, but anyway, hold on, Ben. We're going to pay some bills here. Want to thank our sponsors at Collaborative Logic for all the things they did. In fact, Ben, they do have it worked out now where we can give the people the number, and starting Monday, they'll be able to text us or text the number, and then I can see any questions that anybody has on the screen, on my screen, and then we can answer them as they ask the questions.
Oh, that'll
And
be
then,
awesome.
yes, and
That'll
so
be
now
good.
we're working on that, and once we get past that, people will actually be able to call in and talk. But
Perfect.
right now, people will be able to text us, and we can get the questions, and then we'll ask. They can ask their questions, and we can answer them live on the air. So I'm excited
Beautiful.
about that. So that was great. They got that done today. So I've got to test it out clearly first
Yes,
before
sir.
we go live with it. Of course,
Yes, sir.
Mark Long at SRB for engineering, surveying, and planning. He is the guy for that. Our guy Jose Fierro at Oak Grove Trucking. If you need any rocks and dirt moved, he is the dude. And then Max and Greg Nafee over at Nafco. Appreciate those fellas. My brother and my nephew sponsors. Appreciate them. And then YNB, family owned and operated since 1912. They are the bank that makes things happen. They're an equal housing lender, member of the FDIC, and one of our sponsors our sponsor for our remote live streams of Black, minority, and women-owned businesses in Oklahoma. And plus, we're going to be on the road quite a bit. The equipment is almost done and ready, so we're going to be looking forward to do that. So if you have any loans, personal or business, cars, boats, houses, land, commercial buildings, they are the people to talk to. You should pre-qualify online at www.ynbok.com. That's www.ynbok.com. And then after that, you can go in and see Nathan Taylor or Joe Horn or Carson Wright, and they'll be more than happy to help you. What's up, my brother? What's going on with you? Anything good? How was hockey last night?
Man, there was a big slate last night because they don't let
Yes.
anybody, they let everybody go home for Thanksgiving. So it was a pretty big slate last night. But it was
Yeah,
pretty good. A couple shootouts, a couple overtime games, and a couple blowouts. So a little bit of
yeah,
everything.
yeah. I saw that there was quite a bit. Uh, and let's just get to the score as soon as I can pull it up in our. Okay, Bruins. Why is my team the only one to lose? How are you and Drew's team win, and my team is the only team to lose? What the hell was that about?
I have no idea. We're both on 7-game win streaks, Bruins and the Blues.
Bruins taking care of the Lightning last night, 5-3 on the road.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Big win.
And Flames 5-2 over the Flyers. Man, Philly's just having issues in Philly, aren't they?
Yeah, they've lost 7 in a row themselves. They're really beat up though. They got 5 guys on the IR right now that are going to be out for the next couple months. So, I mean, I think they're pretty much gonna that's sailed by now. It's pretty much done for them, I think.
Yep. The Oilers the Oilers falling to the Devils 5-2. Nice win by them at home.
Yep, Devils 13 in a row right now. They are killing it. I have no idea. They just can't lose. They got the best goal differential, second best goal differential in the league right now. And then the Oilers, they're going to keep falling because they're just not deep enough right now.
Yep. And then how did McDavid do?
McDavid last night, he's been quiet. Him and Draisaitl are the two. They make everything run on that team.
Uh-huh.
And like the last couple nights, I've seen him been shut out the last 2 nights now. If I'm seeing this correct. Yeah, 2 nights in a row. So they're not. They have nobody else. When you can shut down just 2 of the guys, there's really not much that anybody can do about it. Draisaitl had a goal, but that was pretty much it.
Yep. The Islanders over the Leafs 3-2.
Yep. Yep, Leafs down. Got to keep going for that.
Yep.
But
I'm not upset.
and then another team that has a lot of guys in the IR are the Leafs. They got 6 guys on there. But that goalie for New York Islanders, Ilya Sorokin, he's the real deal, man.
Yeah, he is. Now, but if he can get some help, they'll be
Yep,
fine.
they can never score there. They're always one of the best defensive teams in the league.
Just
So
gotta
they'll
get.
be if he can stop the puck, they'll be in there every night.
They need an offensive coach. That's what they need.
Yes, they do.
Hurricanes losing to the Jets 6-3 sounds like a Major League Baseball score.
Yeah, it was this one. So the Hurricanes were down 3-0 and came and tied it up late in the third, which was kind of huge for them. But they're another team beat up right now. They got 6 guys on the IR. It's hard for some of these teams when they're missing a 30-year team to do much right now.
Yeah.
You got all these guys that rookies and stuff playing that just don't really know. They don't have the jam. They don't have the stuff that you paid all these big guys for.
Right, and then the Coyotes and the Predators. The Predators getting them 4-3. I thought the
Yep.
Coyotes was going to get that game actually.
I did too. They were up. They were up in the second, and then Predators came back in a shootout and won. But the Predators need a couple more wins to stay above 500. A lot of these divisions and the standings right now are all really, really close. So there's only a few runaways. So the Coyotes are one of the guys that they're going to have some trouble if they can't string together some wins too.
Yeah, they're going to have to. Then of course, Drew's team 3-1 over the Ducks. I can't even get excited about it. I can't get excited about it. I'm sorry, and because he's sending me pictures of him on the
7 in a row though.
I don't want to hear that nonsense from him sending me pictures of. He sent a picture today of him, his wife Trish, and both girls, all with the top down, with their sunglasses on. I'm like, really, Drew? You just go ahead. But we're having a nice day today, so I'm not even talking to him. As soon as I get done with the show, I'm going to go get 9 holes in this afternoon.
Oh, there you go.
Forget him. I don't really care what the hell he's talking about. Then, of course, my Stars. I'm just going to pass that. We got beat. I'm passing that. I want.
They still got a point, though, so they're still up in first place in the division, which is good. If you get to a shootout every time, you still get a point. So that was huge for them to at least grab one of those. So that was good.
I know, but still, we needed another win there. At home, too.
I know the Avs team. That Avs team's going to keep shooting up the leaderboard. It's just they're going to take over first eventually, and I think those Stars have a good chance of sticking in at second there. Yep. So hopefully they can avoid them.
I hope so too, at least in the first round.
Yeah.
G-Knights and the Canucks. I've always liked that name, the Canucks. I don't know what it is about that, the Vancouver Canucks. I've always liked it. I don't know why.
It sounds like it fits. You know what I mean? Like this sounds like it goes really well together.
Yeah, I know.
But
go ahead.
There's a huge third period there. There's 6 goals in the third period, so it was a fun game if you could tune there at the end. But
are you sober in the third quarter?
Usually me? No.
I'm not sober in the third quarter. I'm just telling you right there, I'm not sober in the third quarter. I'm just not. I'm feeling really, really good by the end of the third quarter. I don't know why that is. I'm just feeling really, really good by the end of the third quarter. Games today, Ben, we only have 2 on slate. We have the Sabres and the Canadiens at 6.
Yep, Sabres, Canadiens. Both teams are above 500, which is kind of surprising. The Canadiens the Canadiens are above 500. The Sabres are not. The Canadiens are surprised being there. They're actually favored in this game, but we'll see. It might be a snooze fest. You never really know.
Yeah, you never know, especially with the turkey season right around the corner.
Exactly. They're ready to go home.
Yeah, the Rangers and the Kings. Oh man, in LA. Isn't that a long trip? Now, is hockey like basketball where if you make a West Coast trip, you go to you go to Dallas,
everybody on that side.
Phoenix, so you play whomever.
Yeah, there's usually like you hit all of you'll usually hit like Colorado, Arizona, LA, San Jose, and then you'll kind of go home usually.
Now, Vegas has a hockey team, right?
Yeah, you'll hit Vegas sometimes too, but some of those trips might lead up into the north, like with Seattle now because they got a team. So now it's really starting to spread out a little bit. You might do like Minnesota, Vegas, and then go up to Seattle, and then go home, and then you go home for a few games, and then you'll go up to Canada and hit. They usually hit about 4 or 5 of the Canadian teams all at once, depending on where you're located. Yeah. But that's usually a big Canadian trip that all the teams always take.
Yeah, that makes sense, dude. I need to get you a thing that's just you because I have a thing for just Drew on the line. I need to do something for just being on the line when it's just you and I and Drew are off. I'm gonna have to. In fact, I'll do that tonight when I get off the air. I'm gonna make you up a little deal. Do you still want the hockey thing, or do you want you and the wife in the picture, or you just want? Because do you want me to use your same one? I use Drew's same one for his
Yeah,
when it's just
it
him.
doesn't really matter. Just send me over one, and I'll okay it, and then we'll just call it.
Okay. Thanks. I appreciate that.
There you go.
I'm glad you got okay.
Got to ask the wife.
Oh, we have to
Never
ask you.
know.
Oh, man.
Just got to get checked through.
Well, I'll tell you what. I'll just put the one of you that I use already with
Perfect.
Drew when it's just you. And that way it's just easier. You and your hockey. I don't think you scored on that goal, even though it looked like you were trying to score. I don't know if
Oh,
you
that was the
scored.
Nationals, man. That was a
Oh,
big
my
week for
God.
me.
Oh, my God. And, okay, speaking of Drew, he's not here, so we're going to go over his picks. He's got the Grizzlies tonight, -1 for the NBA. And then the Nets and Sixers, he's doing the under 217, which I agree with because – Kyrie's back for them, which I'm glad to see finally. They got over that
Yep.
stupidness that they were doing to him. But the Sixers, I don't know if Maxi's playing, but they don't have Harden and they don't have Embiid. So under 217 is probably a good
That sounds nice.
good bet without both of them. College basketball, he just went all over the place. We've got San
Yep.
Diego State +2. He's got Creighton, which is one of my surprise Final Four teams. I have Creighton, Creighton, Kansas, North Carolina, and Houston as my early Final
Okay.
Four picks is what I have. Then he's got Florida Gulf Coast. I'm like, who? I saw that. I was like,
Yep.
who? Florida Gulf Coast. Who the hell is that? But anyway, he's all over the
Some
place.
athletes.
Yeah, he's all over the place. -3, Cincinnati +3.5, and then the Texas Tech, Louisville. He's got over 129.5. And then Wichita State is a pick'em, which I'm like, why even have it? We're gonna do a pick'em.
Yeah. You must like it.
Yeah, I guess he must.
You
And
must. I wonder what the number is on that because if it's maybe it's like maybe they're plus money on a pick 'em versus the other team. You never. I don't know. I'd
oh
have to look
no,
it
I
up.
don't know. He just put it in. I just do. He's not here to tell us what the hell he was doing with it. So, but anyway, we've got his numbers up here, and you can go to HuskerDrewPicks.com, and I guess he's probably got it more in detail there. I don't know. So, and then of course tomorrow he's got Germany picked in his World Cup. What do you think about that?
Ooh, I mean, I like Germany tomorrow, but it's because he's obviously taking the money line
Just
there.
what he's doing. Yeah,
So
taking the money line.
yeah, I mean, I'd agree with that. I mean, Germany, I don't think they're as strong as they've been the last couple of years, but the Japan squad that they seem to have like a couple guys on their team that can really roll. So that might be one of those draws that come out. But that's always the worry for me when I do these bets on soccer is always that draw that can really bite you.
Yeah, it really does. And now, of course, in World Cup yesterday, the USA tied Wales. We were up 1-0, and then I was on the air when he fouled him and got the penalty kick, and I'm just going,
Oh
and I
man,
really couldn't watch what happened, and I didn't see it until the end. That it was just a terrible play by one. What are you doing? Why? I mean, he's got his back to you. What is he going to do? You know what I'm saying?
yeah, exactly.
What's he going to do
Especially
at
when
that
you're in
point?
that tight.
In the
Yeah,
box. But
yeah.
then anyway, then our goalie comes out of the box at the end, and if it hadn't been
And
for the
gets
yellow card, they would have won, and we'd have lost 2-1.
that been.
What
Yep,
were you doing coming
blowing that
that
whole
far out of
thing.
the box? I saw that. I'm like, what the hell are you doing? Oh my
We were two
God.
different teams. We were two complete different
Yeah.
teams.
Well, when I talked to
From
her,
half to half. From
yeah,
half to half. Like first
well,
half, I felt like we had some energy. We were playing well. And the second half, I felt like everything kind of dipped off, and they kind of started reading us a little better, and they were clogging up the middle a lot on us.
what he told me is they subbed in their big 6'5" guy that they have. Okay. And Nick
Uh-huh.
said what he does is he's able to control the ball, and we weren't being as. That's what happened the second half when they subbed him in. It
And
made
he
all the
takes away a lot
difference.
of those set pieces and
Yes,
everything.
and he goes, that's what happened with that. And he goes, I don't know why they didn't put him in earlier, but that was the difference in the game is by when they made that substitution, he was able to control us because we don't have any guys that big to be able to fight
Yeah.
that, which is one of the things everyone's always said. If our best athletes played like the Europeans' best athletes, we would be winning the World Cup on a regular basis because
Oh
we've
yeah.
got better
Yeah.
athletes. If our football
Oh,
and basketball players played soccer instead of football and basketball and baseball and hockey, it would have made a
like yeah,
difference. It would have made
like
a difference.
OBJ if he was out there
Or
like running around,
LeBron
he'd
is
be
6'8".
yeah.
There's no lie. There's nobody's jumping high as he is to go get a head for a header.
Oh no,
Okay,
no.
nobody's getting up that high. So, but then of course on Friday, the big game, England versus the USA, and I was listening today, Ben, and part of the worry I have is that, if England, if Wales beats Iran, which they're probably going to do, okay,
Yes.
and then England beats us, okay, then what happens with England and Wales?
So I think England would beat Wales just off the what I've
You would
seen,
hope.
but I'm saying after that, if say we were all tied, it would go into goal differential.
Yeah, I know that we're going to go differential, but my fear is that England's already in. They rest players. They don't, they're gonna have to sub out because it's just so freaking hot. Okay,
Yeah.
but all their best players play less time because it's irrelevant whether they win the match or lose the match.
Yeah. Exactly.
You
Yeah.
see what I mean? So if they lose the match or tie the match or whatever, then they're in and we're out.
So they're just going to want to try and get us first.
Yeah. So the question is, what's going to happen with us at that point? What's England going to do? So then, of course, that means that we would have to score more points against Iran than Wales did to beat them.
Yeah.
So we shall see what's going to happen in the point differential there. But that does worry me. But I think I like our team. I like what we're doing. And I think if
I
we
do
can
too.
get it, we lose 2-1, maybe even lucky enough to get a draw, that would be fantastic. I don't think that's possible, but we beat England before when they were heavily favorites, and Argentina lost today. And speaking of that, let's just
That
go over some
was
scores for World Cup
wild.
scores. World Cup scores today, of course. This is what's happened thus far. The Netherlands beat Senegal 2-0. Qatar, of course, lost to Ecuador 2-0. And then yesterday, in Group B, England just smashed Iran. It was just ridiculous. And then 1-1, we tied Wales. And I just really think, man, if we could have just held on, but I think if we had one or two veterans on our team, we possibly
Yeah.
could have beat Wales. But, I don't care what anyone says. When you're young, you make dumb decisions. You just don't know how to win yet. You just don't.
Yeah.
I mean, you just don't.
Just that. Yeah. Your IQ just needs to get up. Your soccer IQ, your football IQ needs to get up a little higher. There's just plays that you're going to start to realize in a few years that's what I should have done there instead of what I just did.
Yes, and that's just going to happen. But the future of the USA soccer looks up compared to what it has in the past. So, and then of course, Argentina losing to Saudi Arabia 2-1. Messi, that was really hard for them. Now they've got to win the next two matches.
Yeah, he had that goal early. They were up 1-0, and then they kept attacking. They kept doing these long balls, cross balls all the way across the field, and they were just offsides every time. I think they even scored 2 or 3 goals that all got disallowed.
They had 3 goals that were cut back, and 2 of them were clearly offsides. One of them was
close.
Was
it was
close,
like an
but
elbow.
it was still offsides. Offsides is offsides.
Right? And I know, this was what the commentators kept saying this is one of the biggest upsets in World Cup history. There's Saudi Arabia was plus 1,100 underdogs.
Yeah.
If you wanted them to win that game yesterday, and I guess Argentina's number 3 in the world. Well, was number 3 in the world, and Saudi Arabia was number 51. So it was a pretty massive upset there, and that messes up that whole group is now you never really know.
Well, let's face it, Saudi Arabia is going to lose the next 2. They're going to be 1-3. But Argentina now has to beat Mexico and Poland, which they're more than capable of doing. They've got Poland is the tough one. They're going to have to get by. But, let's face it, because Mexico is not one of their best teams that they've had before, so we shall see how that's going to work out with them. But, man, why is Drew sending these pics to us? Why is he doing this?
Because he loves it.
No, because he's an ass. That's why he's doing it. But anyway, Argentina, and I think they will still get through this group. I think they'll beat Mexico, and I do believe that they will beat Poland. That's just me. Group D, Denmark and Tunisia. I don't think that there's any. Have you seen any updates? And it's 3-1, right?
Not that one. Yeah, it was free. It was just kind of a slow. Denmark plays. They're like some of these different countries, like the continents. They just play football a little bit differently. Denmark just they do these long shots and they kind of just clog up the middle and they play like tough D. But I really Tunisia's crowd was huge. I don't know if you got to hear or listen to the clips, but they were so loud. It was insane. Every single time they touched the ball, if they kicked one out, that's what I like the World Cup for. All these people coming together and supporting it was just awesome to hear.
Yeah, and 0-0 though, so they're both tied. So neither one of them got points
Yep.
in that, huh? That's what happened in that. And then of course
Yep.
France is up 3-1, not 2-1.
They're up
Excuse me,
4-1
4-1.
now.
Geez, 4-1 now. Wow. Okay, well that's over. That's over. That's what that is. And then tomorrow, Ben, uh, I'm looking at it for tomorrow. You've got man, you got some good games. You got Morocco, Croatia. You have Spain and Costa Rica, Germany and Japan, and then Belgium, Canada. And I
Yep.
definitely want to watch that Belgium, Canada because it's going to be at 1 o'clock tomorrow. So
Yeah.
I'll definitely want to
The
watch that.
two, the two early games, the 4 a.m. game and the 7 a.m. games, those are both on Fox Sports 1. And then the
FS1.
two later games are both going to be on Fox, just regular Fox Sports. But yeah, so that'll be that 1 o'clock game, and then that 10 a.m. game will be pretty good. I think Spain should put a beat down on Croatia or Costa Rica. But we'll
Yep.
see.
Well, I can't wait to get Nick's reaction to the loss of Lucas Hernandez for France. How is that going to really affect them? Because they were my pick to win it
Yeah.
all. But now Kareem is down and Lucas is down, and I think they lost somebody else. So I'm just that to me may make the difference in them winning the World Cup. So we
Yep.
shall
I
see.
think
But I
so
can't
too.
wait to talk to him tomorrow.
Did you hear about Cristiano Ronaldo just a couple hours ago?
No, what happened to Ronaldo now?
Him and Manchester United agreed to part ways just like a couple hours ago. Well, and he's playing for Portugal this week, so
Yep.
whatever. And he's in Qatar right now, and I know he makes like $466,000 a
A
week.
week.
So whatever contract they're doing, that's got to be
Well,
something had to be
yeah, remember
huge.
they got to pay him out. I'm sure their
Yeah,
contracts are
so something had to be
guaranteed.
huge. I know there was about a couple months ago. I know that he refused to come in as a sub, like because they didn't start him. So I don't know if that has something to do with it,
Oh, of
but
course it
clearly
did.
something in the locker room,
Well, the
something
point
happened.
is, how the hell do you not start him?
Yeah, I think he was saying that. Yeah, you're paying him that much too.
Yeah, and well, yeah, that's a management versus player, and he's not the player that he used to be. So
Nope.
now, 5 years ago, that may have made a difference, but right now, that doesn't. Yeah, that doesn't bode well. I can't really. I'm
Yeah,
out on that deal. I'm out on
that's
that
crazy too. Though.
100%.
That's
So,
a big name.
yep. And then, of course, in Big 12 sports, in our Big 12 world, our schedule this week for Big 12 is going to be really interesting. If I can find it on this stupid thing. Big 12 schedule. There we go. Hey, I'm finally getting this thing down. Uh, I know I have issues. You don't need to say. I don't know why I have OSU at 22. They are no longer 22. They are not ranked at all. West Virginia versus OSU at 11 on ESPN2. What are your thoughts?
I would say that I like watching this OSU. I like watching them. I think they're fun to watch. Like I'd say the difference with I don't like I just don't really like watching Gundy to be complete. Not
Yeah,
really. But I liked watching the defense earlier in the year, and everything seemed like it was going pretty well, pretty smooth. And obviously, then they just hit that roadblock, and now it's starting to turn into starting to get really ugly.
yeah, it really is. Iowa State. I'm with you. The game's at 11. I won't be here. I'll be watching it on TV from a hotel room. Iowa State versus number 4 at TCU. I think that won't be a game. TCU will handle their business.
They better.
Just trying to go. Yeah, they're one win away from being into the Big 12 championship game. 2 wins away from possibly being in the Final Four. I don't think they're good. They're not one of the top 4 teams in the country. Not to me. They have to play Georgia. Georgia will just absolutely dismantle them. I don't want to see games where I know no matter what, oh, they're getting in the Final Four. I don't care. You don't belong there. I don't care about
Yeah,
that nonsense. You don't belong there. And that's like in basketball. Every now and then you'll get those Cinderellas who cut through and they make it. But for the most part, basketball, the Final Four is usually 4 of the top 6 to 8 teams in the country.
yeah.
So that's why I always be glad when they get done with this nonsense and go ahead and make it 8 teams and let people play it out. OU at
Okay.
Tech. I think that's going to be a tough game for OU because, they jumped out on OSU. And Gabriel was like, "Who the hell is Gabriel? Where's this been all year?"
Where's
And
he
then,
been? Yeah,
yeah, and then the second, third, and fourth quarters, like, oh, okay, that's the OU offense we know and love. That's the one we've seen forever. So, but they did have a great game plan for Oklahoma State's defense the first 10 plays or 20 scripted plays, and got by OSU, and then after that, the defense shut them down and didn't allow them to do anything. But
Yep.
anyway, so I think OU will handle Tech, even though Tech is one of those weird teams. You never know what you're going to get out of Texas Tech, especially when you got to go to Lubbock. So
Yeah, going to Lubbock is fun up there.
yeah, well, it's fun to hang out. I almost went to school there, but it was just nothing, absolutely nothing
Exactly.
to do. That's why I did not go there.
Make your own fun.
Yeah, well, I do make my own fun, but anyway, Kansas versus K-State, and that's at 7 p.m. on Fox.
You know who's starting quarterback? Howard and Martinez?
No,
I have no idea.
I don't either.
I almost went to school there, but it was.
Yeah, we'll know.
Oh,
We'll know probably in the next day or two who was what. We'll probably know who that is. But in the Big 12 standings, you got TCU 8-0, 11-0, Kansas State 6-2. So Kansas State has to win this game to get them in. But they beat Texas, didn't they? I don't remember. Did they beat Texas? I don't remember if they beat Texas or not.
No, Texas beat them 34-27.
Okay, so if Texas wins and Kansas State wins, loses, if they lose, then Texas plays TCU.
Yep. Which I'd like that because that'd be a nice. I like this Kansas State team, but I don't know. I think the quarterback battle would be good.
Well, Texas against Texas. I think Texas. I mean, man, yeah, that would be. I don't know. I think I'd probably rather. Drew would rather see Texas. I can tell you that.
Yeah,
he does not want Martinez.
Fun to watch.
He does not want to see Martinez in the Big 12 championship game.
Yeah, I just like watching Quinn spin the pill.
Yeah, well, he's up and down, but that Texas defense, they got to learn how to stop Sam damn body. That's what they've got to do.
You understand? Just run the ball.
Yeah, I don't understand that why they're not. You got Bijan Robinson, and don't give him the ball. Then you got OSU coming in fourth at 4-4, 7-4 overall. Baylor 4-4. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 teams in the Big 12 that will be going bowling this year. Then, of course, West Virginia and Iowa State will be staying at home watching everything on TV.
Yeah, see, that's why we need West Virginia. We need both those two teams on the bottom just to lose this week. And let everybody else go succeed and move on to better things.
Yep, I agree 100%. And then, of course, this week on Thursday, man, it's going to be I'm excited about Thursday, NFL Thursday. You start out with the Bills and the Lions. The Lions are 9.5 underdogs plus 9.5. And the over-under is 54. And that's going to be our first game, the Bills at the Lions. What do you think about that?
I really like that. I love the coach for the Bill or for the Lions, but Campbell. I just don't think he can. Yeah, I just don't think he'll be able to muster too much up against this Bills team. I still have seen Josh Allen's still questionable and stuff. So I don't know. They might. If you're playing a team like this, do you sit them and let them get a week?
Well, remember the Lions have won 4 straight.
Yeah, but
this is the Bills, right?
That is pretty awesome. Cool. I wish they would have done the spring, the Hard Knocks. I wish they would have done Cardinal spring training then and have the Lions now because it would be awesome watching him do these speeches and crying. It'd be awesome.
Yeah, he's a big boy too. He's a big old boy, big man. Giants and Cowboys are next at 3:30. Cowboys -9. The over under 44.5.
That's for second in the division. It's gonna be a big game.
Do you think 9 points is a lot though?
Yes.
In Dallas?
Yes, I do, but I don't know. They wouldn't be counting OBJ in yet because he's not there yet. But do you think he's going to go there?
Well, losing all the money he lost in crypto, taking his money in crypto, that was first thing.
That made me laugh so hard.
I was like, what are you doing? Are you serious? But Dallas, remember, Texas has no state income tax.
Yes, so that was a beautiful thing.
That's a beautiful thing about trying to make up some of that, recoup some of that money that you got. The question is, how much is Jerry willing to pay him?
I think that if the base is low, I think that it would be mostly incentive-based, and I think he'd crush it.
Yep, I agree. Because you only need him to make 2 to 3 plays a game. That's it.
Yep.
That's all you need. And free up.
One of them will be a touchdown. We'll call it good.
Yep, and then free up CD to do even more. Work around.
Yeah. But finally unleash Gallup a little more.
Okay, so would you take the over-under in the Bills-Lions right now just to think about 54?
Bills under. It's in Detroit.
Yep, in Detroit, in the dome. No weather's not an issue.
54.
That's a lot, isn't it?
I'd probably take the under.
That's a lot, and 54 is a lot. I looked at
No,
that. That's a
actually,
lot.
no. I'll take the over on that because I think that the Bills. I think that because they're banged up on defense a little bit, they got a couple guys missing. So I think that especially on their just in the back end there for their DBs. So I really think that with a couple of those guys still being a little dinged up, the Lions put up points, man. They, I don't know what it is.
Yeah, I don't
They
either.
don't win, but I mean, besides they had 0 points against the Patriots, but besides that, pretty much they have a decent amount in most of these games, at least over 16. And I think the Bills are easily going to put up 30. So that'll be right around. Ah, man, that's a tough one. That is tough.
Yep. Then I'm going to take the Cowboys. Man, 9 points is a lot in a divisional game, even though they scored a bunch. So I'll probably take the Giants at +9. I think the Cowboys coming off that huge win. I don't know if they can. I don't know if they can do that again. I'm going to take the Giants and the points in that, but I will take the over. 44.5. I think the Cowboys. I think between the two. Well, I'm going to take the under. I don't know if the Giants can get. Ooh, what do I think about that?
Dallas D's looking good.
Yeah, they're playing really well. But the question is that if the Cowboys get up, then their defense is ridiculous. If the Cowboys are not up, then if the game is closer, then it may be tougher because the Giants can run the football with Saquon. So I'm going to take the Giants plus and then do the under 44.5. I think that's what I'm going to do.
There you
go. Then Patriots, the last game of the night. Patriots -3, Vikings, the -3 of the Vikings at Minnesota. The over-under 42.5.
And then you said the Vikings were favored by 2.5?
The 3.
-3. So the Patriots are those sneaky teams. If they it takes one play on special teams for them, which they are the best coach special teams team in the whole league with Bill Belichick. It's clear,
and with the defense, but it is the Vikings. They got smashed last.
That was bad.
So they got smashed. So I think the Vikings are going to be on the hunt and pissed off, a bunch of pissed off young men. That's what I think. They're embarrassed.
I love their offense.
I think they got embarrassed. But on the other side of that, Kirk Cousins versus Bill Belichick, I'm going to take the under for sure.
Yep. I think I'm with you. But it's also a primetime game, huh?
Yep, 7:20.
Oh, Kirk Cousins in primetime is not a good.
No.
I'm looking it up really quick.
No, he's
his
like
primetime record.
He's 2-12 or something stupid.
2-12, yeah.
What is he?
Cousins first. It says 16 losses in primetime.
So he's what is he?
He was 2-10 straight, and then that was in September. So he went 0-4, then he went 2-10 as his respective records on primetime. Wow. But I know he won his last 2 on primetime.
Well, he's not very good.
Yeah, but those wide receivers.
Yeah, I know with Patriots and stuff, but he's going to throw looks.
I like the under with you.
I'll take the under on that. So that's just me. I won't take that under. So anything else you got up, my friend?
No, brother. I think I'm good. I'm just gonna go in here, go cook some food with the wife, and then gonna probably watch some hockey tonight, and then
well, I hope so.
Today.
You got to do some stuff. You're gonna be on tomorrow, aren't you?
Yes, sir. Got the in-laws coming in tomorrow. Kylie's going car shopping to go get ever since they're getting her new car and all that stuff.
Sweet. Y'all still haven't found one?
Say it again.
She still hasn't found one? Anything she likes?
Oh, we got one. We just got to go pick it up tomorrow.
Oh, sweet. She got another Volvo, didn't she?
Yeah, Volvo S60, I believe.
Yeah, man.
The SUV. So she's getting her mom car now. So
yeah. I wouldn't call it that, brother. What I call it is that's the safest car in the world.
Yep, that's what we said.
And you ain't got to worry about your kids. You ain't got to worry about your wife. You ain't got to worry about nothing. The dogs, whatever. You're golden. You're golden in that. So, well, all right, brother. We'll see you tomorrow. I'll give you the updates on what we're going to be. I'm going to be at Cut, and I'm going to be at the barbershop tomorrow doing the show. Is where we're going to be tomorrow.
I might be in the car when I'm doing mine, but I'll be on.
Yep, so we'll be on and we'll do that, and it's going to be fun to see that because and then Friday we're going to be on a little early Friday, I think we're going to be on around 11:30, 12 on Friday, just to try to get in and out so I can get on my trip and hit the highway and be out of here. So
Perfect. It
make
sounds
sure we
great
get
to
on.
me because I got to do the same thing.
All right, my brother, be safe. Tell the wife I
All
said
right, brother.
hello.
Cheers. Have a good one.
All right, peace out. It's my guy Ben Dillman, our hockey expert and soccer aficionado as well. So it'll be interesting for tomorrow for him and Nick Jackson to do their things when we talk about hockey. Talk about soccer, what's happened thus far, and then what's going to happen on Friday between England and the United States. And of course, he is an England guy. He's from there, so we shall see how that works. But anyway, everybody be safe out there. Enjoy this weather. I'm going to go play 9 holes and hit some golf balls. Hopefully you take advantage of this nice weather as well.